Okay, let's talk. So a lot of times people come to me initially and they are invested and interested in learning about their vocals. So we work on that aspect, but I'm also a huge advocate of, while you're working on your vocals, work on your performance. Because what a lot of people don't always think about when they start their journey, or even sometimes when they're in the midst of their journey, is the value and importance of being a performer and the things that we need to do to be incredible performers. So when you think about what is a performer, right? Well, by definition, performer is one who entertains. So when we think about that, it's like, okay, great. Performer, one who entertains. Well, how do I actually go about entertaining an audience? That's a key thing that we need to understand. Like, what are the pieces that make up a great performer? With that being said, I want to break down one thing that I continually talk about with my artists that I think is so important that we take on and we understand, because guess what? It's going to help you with your mindset in commanding the stage. So stay with me. So something I found with a lot of my artists, when we start to venture into the whole realm of becoming a performer and starting to work on our shows and what we need to do for it, is that they feel really uncomfortable doing things like this, right? Or really getting into it and letting their physical gestures take over. And so they feel that way a lot of times because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look crazy. People are gonna sit there and be like, oh, what is that? And it's all it is, guys, is it comes down to its noise in our own heads. Because the reality is this, I say this all the time, what typically, especially for beginner performers, is comfortable for you is uncomfortable for the audience. So I'll say that again. What's comfortable for you, looking out on the morning rain. If I did something like that, right? That might be comfortable for someone they're not used to. Looking out on the morning rain. I used to feel so uninspired, and when no, I had to face, right? I kind of let myself feel that. I open things up. And you probably could see on your end, I hope, that the first time I was doing it, looking out, was uncomfortable for you to watch. You're like, yeah, she seems like she's not really comfortable. She seems scared, insecure, right? So those kinds of things are what the audience is going to see. But in the beginning, it's almost like a comfort to not be doing this kind of stuff because it's weird and it's uncomfortable to do this stuff and to go like this and do all those things. It's not what we do when we just walk around in our everyday life, right? We're not walking around like, hello, and doing that. Or jumping up and down or using our bodies in different ways. But that is what, should I say, is expected almost of performers or what we need to be doing as performers, because being on show is bigger, right? The audience actually is expecting that or wanting that, right? They might go to a show and they might be like, oh, it's local, maybe they won't be like Bruno Mars or something. But if you go out there and you do that, you're going to have lifelong fans. You will have people that are going to receive you. So that is something that I really want for you to sit with. And I find it actually comforting so I can get over my own noise. I found a lot of people have to get over that whole mindset of, oh, if I do that stuff, people are going to look at me and they're going to think I look crazy. Because it's actually not that way at all. And so some exercises you can do is go in front of a mirror. Well, first I would say, I don't want to go there quite yet. I want for you to kind of take an artist you admire, that you really admire their show and what they're doing and how they move, how they express themselves, and watch them, analyze them. I remember doing a class, it was like an online thing, but with Usher, and he was talking about this, how he really analyzed the artists he loved. what do they do? How did they move? And then would start to do similar things. He would take those moves and copy them. Now, it's not just about copying them to ultimately just be an imitation of them, but it's about taking what's already been done and having almost like a map for it, right? So a lot of times when we don't know, like I don't know what to do, it's easier to kind of go, okay, great, here's an artist, this is what they're doing, I'm gonna write that down, and I'm literally just gonna do that. And then that way, I don't have to think about the other aspect of putting a show on, or when we're working on our songs, the creative aspect of it in regards to choreographing your own shows. Because that's the next step, right? Is taking this stuff, making it your own, and then taking these things for your own songs and making them unique to you. But first and foremost, we need to kind of it's helpful to have that framework there, that person that's already done it, and you do it. And it's already done, it's already established, and then you can just practice in front of a mirror, just like, looking out, I'm going to take my arm and I'm going to put that out. This one might be, you could grab a comb. You could grab, if you have a microphone, you could grab that there, because that's another important thing that you just want to keep in mind when it comes to performing, is you're going to have something in either hand, unless you have one of those mics that comes over and it is on your head. So most of the time you have that handheld mic, or you could practice with, if you like to do stuff with mic stands, or changing it up, having something on a mic stand, having something not. But that's something you can consider as you're doing your movements as well. So, and it made me think of that, because when I was doing that, I automatically kind of grabbed an ear mic. But, it might be like, okay, looking out, pause, on the morning rain. So you would kind of take it and you would see, what is it they're doing? And then I'm going to practice doing that. And I know for myself, if this makes you feel any better, in the beginning, and even now sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I just did the T-Rex. I always laugh with myself because I'll do this, right? That's not very appealing for an audience. That's not going to be very comfortable if they see me going like this, looking out, right? It doesn't, even you on your end probably are like, oh yeah. It looks a lot better if I kind of extend that arm out to you there. So, and that's also a huge thing that a lot of artists do, is they start and they don't want to. I'll say, take your arms, just put them out by your side. And that's something next time you can do. Just take your arms, put them out by your side. Take them out, stretch them out. Because it's a lot of times that's uncomfortable. It's not natural to us to do this kind of stuff, but it's the kind of stuff that we're going to want to work on. We're not always going to be performing and just have our hands just flying out to the side here or to the front and overly outstretched, but we want to have the capabilities to do that and not have it kind of go half, because you can kind of, the audience, and hopefully you're seeing it on your end there, you can sense that there's something incomplete about it and it seems a bit odd. So that's what I would say to you. The exercise can be is find someone, watch them, analyze what they're doing, write down what they're doing, and then do it. And do it enough times so it becomes really, really comfortable for you. And then this way you can start to break out of the habits of what you have been doing if you've been kind of keeping things small. Now keep in mind, something like this wouldn't make sense if it was more of a sadder song. Never mind, right? If I was doing a high note, even if I was doing a high note, because sometimes people think high notes could be like this, but if I'm hitting that, she's talking about heartbreak. Never mind, I'll find someone like you, right? Kind of like keeping that in because it's a little sadder. But that's something to consider too, just to keep in mind that not everything has to be here. But we almost have to first start with making sure we can do these things. So this way, we're not kind of just always doing this here. So I hope that helps. I hope this helps you take the next step in your journey to get out of your head, to start becoming amazing performers, and to not fear doing certain things. Practice is a huge thing. We don't become great artists. We don't become great performers by doing nothing. There's a whole part of just the doingness in this that's gonna make you better. So definitely practice these things. Do it for multiple songs, not just your own, and then see what you can do on your own terms of being creative and taking bits and pieces from different songs and putting it into songs that you're doing. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe if there are things that you're running into and you need help with, on your vocals as an artist. Be sure to comment, let me know. As always, I look forward to seeing you all at the top and reaching your goals. Bye now.